You are stressed. You are burned out. You feel like you have absolutely no control over your life, your career, or your future. You spend every waking hour trying to manipulate your environment to make yourself feel safe. But what happens when the environment cannot be controlled? What happens when your money, your title, your family, and your very name are violently ripped away from you, and you are plunged into absolute, inescapable hell? We are looking at the darkest psychological experiment in human history. I am going to show you the exact mental framework created in the abyss of a Nazi concentration camp, and the single, terrifying realization that separates the people who break from the people who become unbreakable. We live our lives under a comfortable delusion. We think we are the clothes we wear, the job titles we hold, and the respect we demand. But Viktor Frankl, a brilliant psychiatrist, discovered what happens when you strip a human down to a naked existence. When Frankl entered Auschwitz, everything that made him human was confiscated. His life's work, his manuscript, was destroyed. His family was taken. He was reduced to a number tattooed on his arm. Psychology dictates that when an organism is subjected to total environmental control and endless suffering, it should simply give up and die. And many did. But Frankl noticed an anomaly. In the freezing mud, starving and beaten, some men walked through the barracks, comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. In that absolute darkness, Frankl realized a profound, undeniable truth. They can take your sleep, your food, and your life. But there is one thing, the last of the human freedoms, that no tyrant can ever touch: the freedom to choose your own attitude in any given set of circumstances. This is the ultimate psychological weapon. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The guards controlled the stimulus. They controlled the beatings, the weather, and the labor. But Frankl realized that his mind was an impenetrable fortress. They could crush his physical body, but they had to ask his permission to crush his soul, and he refused to give it. Look at your own life. Someone cuts you off in traffic, your boss insults you, your bank account drops, and you immediately lose your mind. You instantly react. You are handing the keys to your emotional fortress to whoever happens to be walking by. You are a slave to the stimulus. Frankl was physically imprisoned, but internally, he was freer than you are right now. Society tells you that the ultimate goal of life is to be happy. But Frankl discovered that the pursuit of happiness is exactly what will kill you when the world goes dark. In the camps, the men who died first were not the physically weak. The men who died first were the optimists, the men who said, "We will be rescued by Christmas." Christmas came and went. Then they said, "We will be out by Easter." Easter came and went. When their external source of hope failed, their internal reality collapsed. They died of a broken heart. Happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue. It is a byproduct of something greater. As Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." If you are only living for pleasure, the second the pleasure stops, you will break. You must find a meaning that justifies the suffering. You are not in a concentration camp, but you are facing your own suffering, a crushing breakup, a failed business, a devastating illness, or just the quiet, suffocating emptiness of modern life. Frankl called this the existential vacuum, the feeling that your life has absolutely no point. Meaning is not something you find under a rock. Meaning is something you forge. Frankl states there are only three ways to forge it: by creating a work or doing a deed, by experiencing something like nature, or loving someone completely, and lastly, by the attitude you take toward unavoidable suffering. If you can change a terrible situation, change it. But if you are faced with a situation you absolutely cannot change, you are being challenged to change yourself. Your suffering ceases to be suffering the absolute moment it finds a meaning. You're not a victim of your life. You are the author. Pick up the pen. You now understand the ultimate power of the human mind. You know that between every stimulus and your reaction, there is a space where your true freedom lives. But mastering that space requires an arsenal of knowledge. If you are ready to forge your own meaning, if you want to uncover the profound psychological frameworks hidden inside the world's most powerful books, click the video on your screen right now. We are building a library of cinematic storytelling to wake you up. Welcome to the new world. Keep climbing.